Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, The Purpose-Driven Homestead. You can see today that we are not in our normal location. We are on the sunny Gulf Coast of Florida. It's absolutely beautiful here, but it's also extremely hot. So we're definitely out of our element today. But we're down here visiting family, and one of the things that we discovered is while talking to our family, they wanted to put in a garden, some place that they could actually use to grow some of their own food, but they live in a subdivision. So that was going to be a real challenge for them. Today we're going to show you exactly how we're going to solve that. Stick around. All right guys, so we're back, and like I mentioned, we are on the Gulf Coast of Florida. Very hot. I am totally out of my element right now. It is very, very hot down here. It's in the 90s. Heat index is well over 100 already, and it's early in the morning. Today, however, we wanted to try to help our family. They are looking to try to grow some of their own food. I guess we have rubbed off on them some, and even though we're down here on vacation, they wanted to know if we could help them learn how to grow some of their own food and get started on that. The challenge is probably one that many of you face, which is they are in a subdivision. And as a subdivision, they don't have a lot of space. So today we're going to show you how you can do this setup in a really small space, and you can do it with very little effort and very little way in the way of supplies or tools. It's very subdivision friendly. It's something that everybody can do, and it's something I think a lot of you guys can benefit from. Our motto is to always do what you can with what you have, whether it's you have a backyard, a back porch, or a back 40. Our goal is to help you learn how to grow with what you have. So let's see what we've got back here. All right, you can see from the start here that we got our boards laid out, and we put each corner. Now these are designed to basically hold a 2x6, and the way that we've got it, we squared everything up here. We got all of these boards level, and you'll see in a second how we did that. I kind of went through and used the level on each one of these. Now these are designed to put 2x6s, and you can see starting level is key, because as you build up, this is the first layer, and then as you set the second layer down, and if you want to do a third layer, having it level is critical. And so we've laid it in here. You can see this is the first board. Then we're going to stack a second block. You can see it in the background there. That'll make the next layer that we put down as well. But you want all four of these to be level, and you also want it to be square, so that can it gets it pretty close just using these blocks, but you also want to measure off and use the square that I showed you earlier in the list of supplies. Then we're going to fill this in and level it out. You can see here we've got our second board put in. Now what I didn't mention is there's a hole in the center of those blocks, and you can put a piece of rebar down through there, and that will keep those blocks from moving over time. If you hit it with a lawnmower or something like that, you can see that hole right there. But this is the basic layout. You can go another layer or two higher if you wanted to. We put it near our sprinkler so that our family could use the sprinkler system to help them water. We've leveled it out with our shovel and a hard rake. The next thing we're going to do is here, we're going to use this landscape fabric. Now, this isn't something that's absolutely critical, but it's something that we wanted to do because it's an extra precaution against any creeping grasses that might still be down there, or weeds that can kind of poke up. This is just, I think, one extra layer, no pun intended, of security. Here we added just some bags. It was a windy day, and we wanted to get some bags of topsoil laid out more or less in the areas we were going to use them. It also helped us hold the fabric down as we started sprinkling it out across. We're going to do two layers. We're going to use this topsoil, which is a pretty low-grade topsoil, but we'll also fold the landscape fabric back, and then we'll come back later on, and we're going to use a stapler to actually fold it and staple it up. So you can see here it's still pretty loose. This is my wife. She's laying out some of this first layer of topsoil. We're going to come back in a second and use some black cow, and you'll see us put it out. But this is to give you a base. This is to give you something for the roots to go down into. But it's not going to have as much value as something like cow manure or other things that can compost a little bit better, and it'll be a lot richer. All right, now here I'm just kind of layering it out, getting it all even. I wanted to create one consistent layer across the entire thing, and as you kind of put the bags down, we got the base pretty level underneath the landscape fabric, but there were still some areas that were higher and lower. So this allowed me to kind of even it all out and make sure that we started with a pretty good consistency. Because remember, whatever you're planting, if you plant it too deep here, you're going to get into that landscape fabric. So you want to make sure that you've got enough layer across the entire planter so that if you row it up or you're trying to plant something a few inches deeper, you've got enough soil under the topsoil, or the black cow manure in our case. All right, guys, you can see behind me, we've actually finished. So my wife and I did quite a bit of work on this. We've actually finished the first layer. We put in a layer of topsoil. Now, we had to go to a big box store because of where we're at. We just didn't have access to any good compost or anything like that. But we were able to use what was at the big box store. So we went there, got a first layer of topsoil. Now, the next thing we're going to do is, after we've got the topsoil, we're going to put a dress layer. We're going to dress the top in with cow manure. It's black cow manure. Again, it's what was available at the big box store. But this is a way that you can get started. That's really important to us because I think sometimes people think you can't get started. I live in a subdivision. There's no way for me to get this done. These are all super easy. The blocks, the boards, as long as you do standard cuts, you can do this without any saws. You can do this without any nails. You can do this without any screws. These are designed so that you can actually use them just as they are. As long as you've got a level and you've got some way to just kind of square these up a little bit, you can do a really good job with this. And now we've got a garden that's almost ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and dress this up, and I'm gonna show you how it looks when we're done. So the last thing I'll point out here is that you can see our folded up landscape fabric. We stapled it up and it looks really nice. We didn't do it all the way around. It's just on two sides. It's tucked down on the others. This gives us the opportunity to make it look a little bit nicer and a little bit more finished. All right, guys, we are done. I am hot and sweaty. We are not used to this heat. This is Florida heat right now, right? So we're down here, and you can see the finished product behind us. I think it looks amazing. My wife was helping me with this, and we got this little project done. Only took a couple of hours, really, when you think about it, but we were able to get this done. And this is in a neighborhood, guys. So that's one of the things I really want to point out to you. We always talk about over and over and over again. It doesn't matter if you have a back porch, a backyard, or a back 40. We want to show you how to do what you can with what you have. This is what our family has. And so in this case, you can see that there's a patio right here beside it, and they're going to be growing vegetables right here in their backyard. They're going to become more self-sufficient than they ever were before because now they can grow things that they couldn't. So over here, we're going to probably see that they're going to be growing tomatoes and cucumbers and things like that. And then during the cooler seasons, even here in Florida, they can grow lettuce, they can grow spinach, they can grow some of those colder crops that a lot of people can't grow during the winter. So I think this is a wonderful addition to the house, and it's going to be something they enjoy for years to come. All right, guys, thanks for joining in today. We really appreciate you tuning in. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Click that like button. We'd love to hear from you as well. So drop a comment. Tell us what you think about this project. Let us know if you're going to be trying to do one of these as well. And as always, guys, we hope you have a blessed day, and we'll see you next time on the Purpose Driven Homestead.